Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for choosing our show and for your continued support. I really don't take that support for granted, and I want to thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the election in Tanzania has really exposed the soft-spoken Mama Samia Suluhu, the soft-spoken president who has now been given a nickname Idi Amin Mama, because Suluhu has surpassed the dictatorship that we have witnessed in the African countries. Simply because in many African countries, the opposition leaders or the main challengers are usually given an opportunity to appear at the ballot. They will be rigged out, but at least their names are always in the ballot. But for Madam Samia Suluhu, for the first time in many years, we have seen, I think this is the first time in the Tanzanian polls, she blocked her main competitor, Tundu Lissu. And the whole world has watched Mama Samia Suluhu, and we have concluded this is the worst dictator. In fact, many are saying that if the founding father of Tanzania, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, would wake up today and witness what is happening in Tanzania, he would request to go back to rest. Now, what do we know so far about the protest? The protest started, in fact, it was scheduled to begin on an election day. The world was wondering, why on the election day? It is because Samia Suluhu was was competing against herself. She picked some non-starters in the opposition and allowed them to be in the ballot, and blocked out the one who would have given her a run for her money. So the opposition supporters decided on this very day, when Samia is going to compete against Suluhu, we are going to protest to show the whole world what is happening. Now, when the protest began, the entire government of Tanzania underestimated the impact of this protest. They thought it would be business as usual. But from the aftermath that we've seen, several places have been touched, and there's a lot of destruction as a result of anger and rage from the Wananchi. Now, the protesters are targeting the closest allies and supporters of Madam Samia Suluhu, the government, the Chama cha Mapinduzi. Musicians and celebrities who are supporting the government are being targeted, the pieces of property are being destroyed. Now, from the videos that we've also seen that have gone viral, we understand that there was a curfew that had been placed by the government. And you see, whenever there is a curfew in the country, it's supposed to be implemented by the police. The police are supposed to ensure that there isn't anyone outside from 6 evening to morning. But from what we have seen, the citizens decided to defy the curfew. In other words, they defied the president's orders. And what makes it even funny is the fact that while they are protesting even at night during curfew hours, we've seen areas where the military is with them and they are enjoying. And we have concluded that the military went there to protect them from the very cruel hands of the police, because the police are ordered to shoot and kill. Of course, there are very many areas. I saw some report saying that about 700 people have been killed so far. And you see, whenever you see maybe such kind of numbers, the numbers are always suppressed. It could even be 1,000.
Hiyo ndo kazi ya jeshi. Jioni wananchi wamereact, wananchi wanataka nchi yao. Wananchi hawamtaki Samia. Hawamtaki Samia. Samia must go.
Now as we speak, Madam Samia Suluhu is really worried about the military split. There is a big rift within the military and the police, because there are those who feel that indeed this is the height of dictatorship. They don't understand why an opposition leader should be blocked from contesting. They feel this is an injustice to the opposition, to Chama Chadema and their supporters. And so you've even seen that viral video where one of the members of the Jeshi, I don't know whether he's retired or he resigned, is warning the government. In other words, a time has come when even the members of the disciplined forces are talking. When you see a member of the military force is talking that way, he's ready to die. You know, a time has come where people are saying, I would rather die than, you know, keep quiet and see things worsening. So the reports that we have indicate that there is tension within the military, because there are those who feel that even the mayhem, the killings that are being meted on the people demonstrating are just quite illegal, and they stand with the people. Now, in light of this, we are told that Madam Suluhu has convened an urgent meeting with top officials of the Tanzanian military, because from the report that she's getting, she knows very well that she's been rejected. Now, the people have rejected her. The military is also rejecting her. She's only lucky that sometimes the military do not want to come out. The top officials somehow are her people, and that is the only saving grace. But the majority of the military and the people have rejected Madam Samia Suluhu. Of course, she's headed for a landslide win. They're going to announce her, because the body that is managing the election in Tanzania and the president is the same thing. That's what is happening in Africa. The body that is managing will always announce them, declare them victorious. But Madam Suluhu understands that even as she's going to take oath of office, she's going to manage a country that is not with her. Now, the military is part of the military that is not with Samia Suluhu is telling her, resign, or rather, flee from the country, because the country does not want you. You are ruling with iron fist. But there's this other part that is with her, is telling her, we stay put, we are with you. So that is one part of the tension that is rocking, you know, the government. Now, the other thing that is worrying them, in that meeting, they're looking at the aftermath of the protest. Already, people have been killed. Property of a known amount, you know, have been destroyed. But now their biggest worry is what will happen, or what will happen on the day of the declaration that Suluhu has won. I don't know won against who, because she was competing against herself. So they are also preparing for that day, because they understand it is going to be worse than, it is going to be the worst. All this has been happening during the election, counting and verification of results. But the big day is now coming when they declare Suluhu the winner. So Suluhu is being pushed to resign. They don't want her. But she's staying put, and she wants to rule by force. In the middle of all this, the bodies that we expect to condemn what is happening, to stand with the people, have decided to stand with Suluhu, the oppressive government. The Southern African Development Community, SADC, a very useless body, together with another useless body here called the African Union, they have remained quiet. They are supporting Suluhu. They are not condemning the killings of the people. In fact, they're waiting for Suluhu to be declared the winner, and they will flow with congratulatory messages. And funny enough, you will hear them saying Tanzanians have chosen their president, and all this hogwash, you know, they are very quiet. At least some of the international community are waking up, and they are saying that election was very shambolic. It was not free, fair, and verifiable. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very sad for a country that even the military is rejecting you and they are pushing you, because there is that push that you leave that power because Tanzanians have rejected you. Tanzanians are also saying, we want to redeem our country. We are not with you. So it is not known whether Suluhu would even accept, even in your wildest dreams, that Suluhu can decide to flee from the country. I don't think so. Power is so sweet to our African. So Tanzanians hope that Suluhu will relinquish power and and flee from the country, seek asylum. But because the military is divided, we do not know what she's going to do. But ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very bad that you want to rule by force. The partners in crime, the African presidents, are not saying anything. They're not with the people, but with the president. You would rather endure this kind of burning of the country, destruction, as long as you stay in power. So who are you going to rule if the people have rejected you? So we wait and see what is going to happen, but there is a lot of pressure, military pressure, so that Suluhu can step aside. They are worried about what is going to happen when they declare Suluhu, because it is going to be total mayhem, total shutdown, with the deaths that are also expected, because the police is using live bullet on people. They don't care. See, the police is also divided. There are those who are supporting fully Madam Samia Suluhu, but others are saying no. But you see, the disciplined forces have taken an oath that they have to obey orders, even if it means to kill. So Madam Samia Suluhu, we want to remind her of her words ya kwamba nchi jirani, wakati alikuwa anaongelea Kenya, alisema nchi jirani kuna machafuko na mavurugano, na kwa hivyo uwekezaji wanakimbia, wanatoroka Kenya wakiingia kwake. Sasa hivi kuna vurugu kwake. Ningeomba tujue tu kutoka kwake kama bado uwekezaji wako, ama sasa hivi uwekezaji wanatoroka nchi yake wakikuja Kenya ama Uganda, ama wanaingia wapi. Hii ilikuwa ni kujishaua sana, ni kana kwamba alikuwa nadhani yeye ni malaika. Alikuwa nadhani yeye sasa ama nchi yake haina dosari. Hakujua kwamba watu saa zingine wao wanaumia wakinyamaza. Ufisadi, mauaji ya kiholela. Naona, the bragging must stop, the pride must stop, and Suluhu must listen to the people. We wait and see whether he's going to run away from the country.